Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 8 minutes past the hour on this 12th day of November. Welcome to another episode of hashtag Truth Be Told, slash JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, in the building. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, at the JDMS, and on YouTube at 100BLK Media. Good morning to y'all. This is your early morning. Get up, wake up, wake up. It is Working Out Wednesday. We made it to hump day. And I'm never in here by myself. Always find a little help from my friend. You know him. He's like the Rock'em Sock'em robot. The Rock'em Sock'em robot. I'll say it again. The Rock'em Sock'em robot when it comes down to a literary explanation and book club. He is the host of the Griot podcast and the Sean P. Experience. He is the undisputed man who says you need to read, you need to read, you need to read. Y'all put your hands together, family. Put your hands together. For none other than my brother from. Here we go. I'm back. John's back. We're back.
What's going on, Joe? I was like, wait a minute. What's going on, Joe? What's going on, man? Good morning, good morning.
Man, hey, bro, hit one too many buttons. I'm loving my new
Hey,
studio, but
hey,
sometimes I hit the wrong
I
button
think,
and be like, wait a minute. Good morning,
but
Sean P.
today,
What's happening?
yeah, yes. Good morning, man. Good morning to the family out there watching this, everybody. Under the sound of my voice, man. I'm excited because last night I was telling y'all before I left, I had on Kiese Layman last night, one of the
Ooh,
greatest writers in our generation from next door, Mississippi, Louisiana. This book is called Conversations with Kiese. And I had him on the pod last night. It was amazing, Joe. You would have loved it. Anybody watching this, go on YouTube. You can
go
check
go
it
back
out.
and see it. Go back and watch it. Listen, man, we getting Sean's numbers up. I don't know about y'all, but man, Don Colden and Oprah. You think Oprah's book club? You ain't seen nothing till you see the Sean P. Experience, the Griot podcast. Man, Sean be knocking it out the park with our people, talking about the literature we need to be reading, man. And once again, let me just give this brother his due why it is due, because that
It's
brother be
an,
all about that business.
it's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve in this capacity, man. You know, my grandfather being the pastor, my grandmother being in the classroom, but my podcast and doing this. This is my form of teaching and reaching the community, man.
And you do it, brother. You do it. You know, I love Sean P. Love the Sean P. Experience. Love the Griot podcast. We gonna start cooking early this year, so we're gonna really try to put him in a position where I know all of you, especially you ladies, y'all can't wait until July in the Essence Music Festival of Culture. And I'm definitely trying to do everything I can to put Sean in the place in the book area where he is actually not only this time just sitting there observing and listening, but he actually has a moment to speak to y'all and inspire y'all to continue to read.
Can I
So
share a little news, Joe? This is a little news this in.
go ahead,
I,
brother.
I,
Breaking
I had
news.
a nice proposition a couple nights ago from a young lady about a Toni Morrison summit taking place in Ohio nation.
Mm.
And they was like, man, we need some moderators for panels. We need some speakers. We need some whatever. And if you would mind, please, if it's fine with you, to come and join us. I'm like, hell yes.
Yeah,
We ain't turned down
okay.
nothing but the collar, Joe. We ain't turned down nothing but the collar,
Because
baby.
ever since I was a kid, I've been popping my collar,
No,
popping my collar, popping my collar.
but Joe, you been 20, 30 years in the game, man. Like, it's different doing your skill set, of course, the joy and the passion, right? But whenever you're
Right,
asking to hire talent, you
right.
get that actual paperwork and
Correct.
actual bank route numbers on that thing and all that. It's a
It
different
hit
kind of
different. It hit different. It
huh?
hit. I tell folks, I tell folks, yesterday was Veterans Day. Once again, salute to all the veterans out there, all who have served. I once again always have to do this. I need to make y'all understand there is a difference between Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and Armed Forces Day. But
Yeah,
y'all never will get
yeah,
it. Y'all never will get it.
yeah.
So yesterday I laughed because, I ran into somebody who served with me. And the person said, I hate today. And I said, why do you hate today? He said, the day is for you, sir. You're no longer in the military. You are a veteran. He said, I don't understand why they give me a free meal. They need to give me a free meal on Armed Forces Day. And I said, man, get your free meal and enjoy yourself. And he said, but they need to give you a free meal. You the veteran. And he said, why? And I said, well, we always should recognize our fallen comrades. But they do have a day that's set aside to recognize the fallen comrades called Memorial Day. But we try to intertwine them days all the time. On Memorial Day, folks be saying, hey, salute to my son that's your son or your daughter ain't dead. I don't salute my son on Memorial Day. I
No,
promise you.
no,
I
no,
don't salute. Oh, I have a son that's in the military. I don't salute him on Veterans Day. He
no.
literally sends me messages saying, Dad, thank you for your service.
Yes.
Uh,
But Joe, you made a joke yesterday about Donald Trump saying something about tariffs, and kind of using that with the taxes kind of conversation,
mhm,
right? It's all semantics, and people don't
mhm.
understand words and the meaning of words, the etymology of words. It makes no sense to congratulate you and your living self on Memorial Day. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Grammatically, it don't make sense. Hold on. But watch this, Sean. So in my 30s of class right now, I'm in the most precarious lecture I have ever been in. I told you about the boring lecture. So now, last night, I was in a 2-hour lecture about the numeric coalition to word. And
I
I'm
like this.
trying to
I
figure
like
out
this.
why.
I
I'm
like this.
like, I'm like, why am I in this class and what does this have to do with criminal justice? And I still haven't got my answer yet, but it was a very interesting class because I didn't know letters and numbers correlate
Yes.
and certain words, when you
Yes.
put the word together, there is a numeric equation that comes out of that word.
Yes,
And
Joe.
I'm like,
Yes.
that's
And
deep.
I don't want to say too much, but certain circles that you in, I would think that you would know something like that.
Now look, I've heard. I've
Okay.
heard.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
now
yeah.
I ain't gonna say I didn't have knowledge
Yeah, yeah,
thereof,
yeah. Yeah,
but
yeah.
it wasn't as deep as it was last night. Last night it got deep. And I was like,
Yeah,
Professor,
yeah.
you mean he's like, yes. So when you name your children these names,
Exactly.
he said,
Exactly, Joe.
there's a numeric equation to
Yes.
this name. He
Yes.
said, and that numeric equation has a vibration. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because what messed me up is, once again, as I go back on this journey to obtain this doctor's degree in criminal justice, and I'm gonna make it crystal clear so folks can stop speculating. I'm not running for office. I'm trying to obtain this knowledge where I can teach. Either teach on my own, provost, at vorum, as they would say, as I can, teach on my own,
Yeah.
or be a professor that somebody can call and say, hey man, I see you got this credential. Can you come and lecture to my class? And we'll, as Sean said, send you a paper and a document with a few things on it that you fill out. And at the end of the day, you come speak and you walk away with a few dineros in
And
your
Joe,
bank account.
hopefully get a retainer. Hopefully get a
Right.
retainer. So
Right,
you
that part,
continue with. You know what I'm talking about?
we'll pay for a few things, a little travel, stuff like that, and you can come and say what you need to say. Okay,
Yes, sir.
now
Yes, sir. That's good. That's good.
or
That's good.
or or or
Mhm.
I will literally be hired, and I'm not trying to be hired by a higher institution. Just like Sean, who has taught at a higher institution of
Yeah.
learning,
Yeah.
the same higher institution of learning that Sean taught at, I have already got an offer from, even though they're going through some major budget cuts. I have already refused said offer because, once again, I'm not trying to be on nobody's payroll because I tell folks if you allow them to feed you, they can also starve you. And
And
those are the
I've been both. I've been
facts.
both.
Right.
And
Right.
they cut the water off. They cut the water off.
Right. So
Yeah,
and
I dig it. I dig it.
brother Douglas Guidry in here, he talking about he trying to send books back to kids in Africa. So you need to hit him
Nice,
up.
nice, nice.
So
That's
so
major. That's major.
hey, that's major. That's major.
Major.
So
Yeah.
nevertheless, I'm trying to obtain this degree so I can teach it either on my own or teach at a university or teach. Really, I want to teach for a few of these three-letter organizations that many of you have fear of when they come knocking at your door. I want to be the person in the classroom teaching these young men and women on the criminal justice system and from my point of view, how we should conduct ourselves moving forward with community policing and dealing with things that deal with criminal justice in this system.
Wow,
So,
that'd be good, Joe. That'd be good.
and I'm learning, Sean. I'm learning at 60. I'm very close. I'm under 2 years to 60. So I'm, as we used to say in the military, when you 2 years of getting out the military, you short.
You start.
I'm a short timer.
Start
I'm a
time. Exactly. Start time.
I
Start time.
really need to enjoy this moniker, young brother. Somebody even told me, hey man, until you make 60, you might need to go on and shave your beard off. And I'm thinking about doing this because somebody said, bro, you would look so much younger if you shave your beard off. And I believe I will look a lot younger if I shave my beard off. And I'm
No,
thinking about doing it
no, Joe.
but not
Joe.
not for
Joe.
the appearance. Hold on, Shine. Not for the appearance, just to shave it off because once I hit 60, I can't use that moniker no more that, hey, fellas, I can't go and say it and push to the side that I ain't got a little seasoning on me and that I'm not an elder. See, with age, supposed to come wisdom and some accountability and responsibility to younger generations. So I can't sit there no longer and twiddle my thumbs and go, really, I can't get in that. I can't get in that. I don't,
Hey, Joe.
just gotta, what?
Let me ask you a numerical question. A numeric
Come on,
question.
talk to me.
Give us the audience the age range you think qualifies to be unk, to be an OG, and to be an elder.
Brother,
Give me your understanding of these phrases.
brother,
Because
now
I'm 44, right? And whenever they call me unk, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I ain't that
you
old.
you 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 unk for real. You
Why they
unk
call me?
and I'm
They
unk
call me
too. Hold it.
OG. I'm
So
like, hold
so
on, dude.
so so I'm all hold it. Really. I'm all three. And the elder part, brother Sean,
Okay.
the elder part is something that has to be bestowed upon you by
Yes.
other elders.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
you can be called uncle OG by anybody, but when a
Truth.
person
Truth.
calls you an elder, is almost like this doctorate thing.
That's a
You know,
few.
right. You have to be bestowed that. You have that mantle has to be put on you, and then you got to hold it. When it's put on you, you got to be willing. I always laugh. I've been my youngest son graduating from high school, and I saw some of his high school graduation pictures, and I almost cried. I was so proud. But I'm working on my doctorate pictures right now, and
Yeah.
so my
Yeah.
sash. A guy gave me my sash, and he said, "Sir, when I put the sash on you, then you got to." It's kind of like, and it blessed my soul when he said it. I said, why I gotta pull it down? Why do I gotta? Because you not putting it on me right? He said, no. He said it's like a mantle. When you put that mantle on you, then you got to hold it and assume it and say it's mine.
It's
He
yours.
said that pulling it down means it's
That's
mine.
the possession. Possession.
Right, it's
Possession.
mine. Thank you for putting it on me, but now it's mine. I
That's
own
mine.
this thing.
I like that.
I was,
I like that.
I was like, ooh,
I
because
like
I'm getting a custom sash, and it's
that.
got a lot of stuff on it. It's got military honors, it's got Masonic honors. I've got something else. I'm gonna have a lot of folks gonna see it and gonna be like, okay, when did this happen?
You know
And then
what,
I'm
Joe?
gonna have to what?
After this show, I'm gonna go ahead and change your name on my phone. I'm gonna put Dr. Joe in there. Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe.
Okay, all right, what? But the elder thing.
It's the name and claim it, right? Yeah, name and
Right.
claim it.
Hey, amen. Elder, speak it. Speak it till you see it.
Yeah.
Speak it till you see it. And listen,
Hey, Joe.
brother.
My OG got me in his phone, Dr. Sean, for the past 6, 7 years. I ain't even
Hey,
pursued my PhD, but in his phone, I'm Dr.
hey,
Sean.
hey, I got
7
you.
years.
I got you. I got you as Sean P. the professor. I got in quotation marks, Sean P. the professor.
That's crazy. That's crazy. See, again,
Hey,
that's the power of names, the power of words. And when people in your life see something in you, see the old days, you know this Joe before me. In the ancient times, like all them Bible names,
mm-hmm.
they mean something.
Oh
And
yeah, oh
you
yeah.
give your child a name. You said your I believe it's your grandson, maybe I can't remember. Dr. J, right? Dr. J or
Right,
Quest.
right, right,
That's something to live up to.
right, right,
Your name mean honor, or some of them Islamic names, right? Your name mean honor, honor, whatever, or God opens the door, or whatever your name
right,
is.
right, 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 right.
Or live a
God,
certain kind of way.
like
Now,
Emmanuel, the name Emmanuel, God amongst us, God
God among
amongst us. So
I'm
you
not
know,
being funny. But if your name Tequila, or your name Hennessy, or your name
mhm,
Lexus, or your name, you know how we do.
mhm.
Then what you gonna live up to, Joe?
And
What's
watch
the,
this.
what's the feeling on that?
So it's funny that you just say this. Now that lets me know where we're going is ordained by some higher power, because I wanted to say something. Understand this, and you were talking about the elders, and remember I brought up about, it's something that's bestowed upon you like a doctorate degree, and we have a lot of people that are bestowed honorary doctorate degree, and we're not going to go down that rabbit hole, but we're going to go down this rabbit hole right now. Just because a person names you something or bestows upon you something, you still got to live up to what you were given. You got to live up to it, Sean. And so many times, that's where I'm disappointed from the point of a lot of things. Like right now, yesterday, once again, I perused through 5 different TV channels in 5 different states. I'm not going to name the states. I went through 5 TV channels: ABC, CBS, and NBC. And I went to 2 major news networks: Fox News, and I went to, I think it was MSNBC. All 5 of them interviewed people about how are they maintaining during the government shutdown? How are they negotiating these cuts in SNAP benefits? 5 news channels, 3 different states, 2 major news channels. I did not see one interview with one Caucasian.
Man, come on, man. How is that possible? How is that mathematically possible? How is that
Hold on.
statistically possible?
Listen to what I just said, Sean. 26 minutes past the hour. And white folks, please don't get mad at me. Please don't say this ain't the Joe that I grew up with. This ain't the Joe I know. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Mathematically, it is a mathematic equation that says there are more Caucasian folks on SNAP benefits than there are black and brown folks.
Oh, we like only 13% of the country, right?
Mathematically, that's what they say. However, these interviews, and I to this day have only seen one interview with a person who was not of color talking about SNAP benefits, and it was different. Let me show you how it was different. The interview was in Arkansas, and they never once really said SNAP benefits. What they said was the nutrition program for these rural residents
There we go.
has been cut by the government.
There
How
we
do
go.
you
Playing with
feel
words.
that
Playing with words.
hold it? How do you feel that the nutrition program that brought nourishment to these rural communities is not didn't you vote for Donald Trump? And the lady said, "Oh, I voted for Trump, and I don't know what happened." And she, of course, because she's been programmed to be believing that it's the Democrats' fault, that he said he had absolutely nothing to do with the shutdown or me losing my benefits. It all has to do with the evil Democrats. And I'm like, wow, the propaganda machine is a monster. These are not the droids you are looking for. And stormtroopers fall for it every time. Be looking right at the droids.
You know, Joe, remember the old school, the literal food stamps, the actual, like the bills, the food stamps?
Hey,
My my grand
I'm looking to see. I believe I have one
Okay,
inside this vault I have with
okay.
my grandmother's freedom papers. You know, the people who adopted me, my mother's mother was a slave, and I have her freedom papers. I think I have an actual food stamp in there that I just $1 food, one of them $1 because yeah, it used to be a book you would tear a stamp. It looked like money. Looked like money.
Yeah, yeah. So my thing is, my grandfather, rest in peace. When I was a little boy, my grandfather always told me, he said, whenever you're in the store and you checking out, and people in front of you in the store, he said, pay attention to these other people and what they paying with. He was always telling me that they are using it way more than what we think. And we think it's just us. He was always telling me that, Joe.
Family, I'm not trying to invoke the race card. I'm not. But sometimes we really have to understand it is a racial undertone in almost everything we do. And even yesterday on Veterans Day, when I saw some of these celebrations, it was very few times, Sean, I saw people who were black and brown who were at the forefront of the celebration. There was a few black and brown sprinkled into the crowd, but most of the people who were being honored or most of the people who were speaking weren't black and brown. And it made me feel like, are you trying to say we never served? So I know Sean, Sean, I'm just saying.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But but but
It's
but
sad.
it's, I'm just saying. It make it seem like to me, and we have such great military leaders who are black and brown. We have the General Honor Rays. We have the Colin Powells. We 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 have the individual Chappie. We have General Chappie, from the Air Force. And I mean, we have great naval minds who were black and brown that folk don't talk about.
You know, Joe, in my personal time serving on multiple ships, because of how life is, we got to always work twice as hard to be just as half good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most commands I was on, whoever the black and brown person that was a high ranking person, they're always the most squared away, the most put together, the most with the minds or whatever. Always the black women like that, they were always together. The most. The most crisp, the most sharp, the most knowing what's going on. It was them. Brothers and sisters in my service. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's sad.
All I can say is at 31 minutes past the hour, be careful who you uplift, who you promote, and when you do promote them, hold them accountable to what you promoted them to. Some
Man.
folks just want a title. Some folk just want a title. Some folk don't want to do the work. They just want to sit in the seat, collect the check, and have the title. Hold them accountable. If you put them into the position, and we need to do this with politicians. If I voted you into this position to represent me, then I need to hold you accountable to do what needs to be done in order to make sure that what I put you in that seat for, you do it. And not that you get in the seat, collect the check, walk around and look presidential, but don't do anything presidential. That when your term is over with, all I see is where you collected a free check and you didn't put in no legislation to help me or the community.
No, no. I had the same conversation yesterday, Joe, with my friends, in our little group chat. But I think that every position of power, there should be people that check and balance and question. Whether that's pastors, politicians, educators,
Mm-hmm.
any kind of leadership. And whenever I am the leadership person, I welcome and I ask for questions. When I was in the classroom, I saw like this. I want the person that said, I'm at the show. I want the office hours, right? I want you to come to office hours. I want you to question me what we're doing. Ask questions. So when I go to church, after every service on Sunday, I ask the pastor a personal question to the side myself, 7 minutes or whatever. I got questions. I don't just leave church. And my pastor welcomes the questions as he should.
Well, somebody said something. See, some things in life there should be absolution. It should be no question. But unfortunately, because we are beings who have this thing called free will, we question a lot. And it's nothing wrong to question a lot and be curious. But some things have absolution. And I talked to a pastor about that. Once again, I brought that up yesterday. Pastors say we always rough on the pastor. Are we rough on the parishioners? Well, I tell people this: if you choose to go to a church or be a part of any organization, you need to know the rules and the bylaws. You don't see, I now check myself quite often because I tell folk, I raised my hand and swore my life and allegiance to a document I didn't even read. Didn't even know the document. Wasn't raising my hand really, even though I raised my hand and the words came out my mouth. That's why I was there. I was there to get my education. I was there to get away from the small country town I lived in. I was there for a better life, a way out. The military for me was a way out, and it's a way out for a lot of folks. A lot of folks don't know what they're raising. See, I didn't know what I was raising my hand to until all of a sudden I'm in the back of a C-130 headed into combat. Then I said,
Joe,
it's done got real.
You know how bad it was, Joe? What I thought I signed up for, I did not sign up for. I didn't find out until I was flying across the country. My first flight ever was going to Great Lake, Illinois for boot camp. My first flight. I'm flying to Great Lakes. I get on that bus. I get to Great Lakes. Weeks later, I find out what I actually signed versus what I thought I signed up for. So no, we did not know. We did not know at that point. We didn't know that.
Right. So now, family, now that we're older and we can reflect back, and he brought up this thing about an OG, an unc, and an elder. Everybody is OG and unc. If you above 40 years old, you are OG and you are unc. You somebody's OG, you somebody's unc, and if you're a woman, you somebody's OG and you somebody's auntie.
And to be serious about that, I'd be funny about I don't like doing that, but whenever a young person call me that, like you said, it's honorific, right? For a person to say, man, what's going on, OG? You see me a certain way clearly.
Right. Now, when you are elder, it's a whole different level and a whole different ball game. See, yesterday I had to let somebody know, one of my good friends who has an honorary doctor's degree, if you're going to walk around with this honorary doctor's degree and flow and go by the parameters of said degree, you got to hold yourself to a higher standard. See, I'm already catching it. When I walk into Angola, and I do, when I walk into Angola and there are some people in Angola who know I'm in school, they don't talk to me like they used to talk to me. They don't say to me like they hey, my brother. Now they they either say Brother Joe, Mr. Joe, hey Joe, can I talk to you about this? Right.
I have a complex question about that.
Okay, talk to me.
How do you feel about what you just said? How do you feel about that?
I'm still the same Joe.
I struggle with it. I struggle with it.
I tell them that. I say, I went and sit down with some good friends of mine who say, hey man, listen, I tell them, y'all are dealing with something that I no longer deal with. I truly understand that tomorrow is not promised. I expect to graduate in August of 27.
Yeah.
But guess what? I might get called to glory. I might be dust and bones. And I don't know when that day is. See, y'all playing with numbers that I can't play with. All I know is the facts. I got more years behind me than I do in front of me. So every day I've got to act like it's graduation day. And I'm positioned. That's why a friend of mine said, man, why do you go to all the classes? You know, we can miss some classes. You ain't
What?
got to be all the lectures. You know, we can miss some lectures. I'm like, no, sir. This might be the last lecture I get.
Yeah, the last dance. The last dance. Yeah, yeah.
I
But
mean,
yo,
listen, Sean, I'm gonna make you laugh. While we here laughing and talking about mortality, a lot of us, because of our age, we feel like, oh, I'm good. No, you not. You
not
do
good.
know that NASA said there's a second moon revolving around the Earth right now.
I
And
saw
none
that.
of y'all paying attention. Y'all keep on
But
looking at one moon going, and I had to take time out and look at the second moon. And I was like, wait a minute. There really is a second moon revolving around the Earth right now. And
mhm.
understand that affects the tides. That affects,
Everything, everything,
man,
everything.
y'all, hey, and y'all over here talking about, oh man, I'm good. No,
No,
young folk, forget us dying at the hands of each other, bruh. There is literally every day probably a big meteorite that just barely misses us by
yeah,
inches. And
yeah, true, true.
if you think
True.
everything hunky dory, ask a couple of Tyrannosaurus Rex and Velociraptors
Yeah,
what happened when the other rock hit.
yeah. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? But yo, I asked that question because when I was getting my master's degree years ago, 7, 8 years ago, I was working at that time as you are right now, right? My coworkers treated me a certain kind of way. But the minute I graduated and came around those same people the next week at work, they talked to me and treated me way differently. And I didn't really like that because it's like I'm the same person. Why would you respect me, boy, and not give me that respect all the time anyway, as a person, as a human being, as a, you know what I'm saying?
Sean, I want to say this. Some
That's
folks
crazy, bro.
despise your elevation. And here's why they despise your elevation. Your elevation exposes their laziness. See, you saying, look, man, I came from whatever, single parent, impoverished home. Me coming from Franklin Patterson, just like me. I was born in Memphis, but I was raised in a place called Henderson, Tennessee. And if you look up Henderson, Tennessee, population in Henderson may be 6,000 folk. Maybe, maybe.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Same thing.
So I came from a small rural town in the South where
That's
literally all I was supposed to be doing was sitting on the stoop, drinking beer, laughing and joking, working in a local factory. No, I wasn't supposed to be podcasting, traveling all over the world, meeting all these celebrities, putting mics in front of them, having meaningful conversation. I was supposed to be just another clog in the wheel. Sometimes your elevation irritates folks. You deciding to be more and listening to your higher power who says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me pisses folks off
Hey,
because
Joe.
they go, why did they choose him and not choose me? No, I chose me. Hold it. I chose myself. And I hate to do it like my Islamic brothers do it when they do like this, but they say you take one step toward Allah. Allah take 2 steps toward you. Your problem is a lot of y'all in this lazy colonizer religion, y'all sitting there waiting for something to happen.
Hey, Joe.
Baby. True religion and the
You,
true story says you got to do something.
yes,
Faith without works is
it's
dead.
dead. Dead. You know when I experienced that, Joe, when I was getting my bachelor degree in the oil field, right? We over there. I'm full of paint thinner and paint. I'm painting pipes and everything, right? But I'm getting my degree the whole time. My supervisor, who was a different color person, he realized one night that I was going to school at the same time. And the look on his face when he realized that, Joe, like he was perplexed, he was appalled, but he was also disgusted.
Mm,
Not at me, but it was something inside himself realizing, like, wow, this man doing all the stuff I'm making him do, giving me extra work. I gotta stay late at night beyond anybody else, but I'm gonna get my degree though.
mm,
I'm about to graduate.
mm,
And whenever I leave, you're gonna still be sitting over here. And he realized that in real time, Joe. I would never forget
mm,
the look on his face.
mm. And and let me say this. In family, y'all gonna some of you gonna be upset about this. But this is really truth what I'm saying. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. Please show me that I'm not right, where I can redact this quickly. I ain't saying all, but a lot of non-melanated folks, a non-melanated man or woman living in a trailer with 3 snaggle tooth feel like they better than a black man who is in the White House with 5 degrees. Those are just the facts. Now, why is it that way? Is that a slavery mentality? Is that something from the Lynch teachings? But it ceases to amaze me how, and don't get me wrong, nobody to me is greater than anybody else in the realm of how we are perceived by our creator. But in real world, physical world, I understand that I'm not Cornel West.
Yeah, there is
Oh,
a
oh,
hierarchy, though. There
oh,
is a hierarchy.
right. Hold on. Even though I've sat in the room with Cornel West, I understand after about 5 minutes of him talking, I don't need to jump in this conversation. This conversation way above me. I understand when I'm in certain rooms with certain folks. When I'm in the rooms, and I've been in the rooms with folks who are microbiologists and neurosurgeons, when they talking, I'm listening. Their conversation is far beyond me when it comes down to them talking about the field of expertise that they're in. However, when the conversation shifts to everyday life situations, sometimes they get very quiet and listen to me because they understand. While they were in the classroom, I was in Somalia. While they were in the classroom, I was in Iraq. While they were in the classroom, I was at Fort Sill, Fort Bliss, Fort Stewart, Fort Benning, Fort Bragg.
You know,
Sometimes you have to understand that everybody has a place,
yes.
everybody has a little
Yeah,
light
yeah, yeah.
under the sun.
You know what, Joe? I blame the parents and society, right? And it's gonna sound crazy, but don't blame Joe. Blame me. I know I know where I'm at, but blame me for this. We tell our kids and all that everybody's equal and we all the same, and we're not. It's
Mm-mm,
not true. It's a fallacy.
mm-mm,
Like you just said a little while ago, I know that there are people that are way smarter than me. In this
mm,
in this in this book world, Joe, I got
mm,
friends that will run circles around me when it comes to reading the book and breaking it
mm.
down and analyzing it. And I know that. That
Hold
don't
it.
fight against me. I know that. I respect
Hey,
that.
you got like one of my fellow students. Big ups to Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara, nothing but love for you. Miss Barbara can literally read. She can literally read 4 books in one day.
Yeah. My mama
For
like
300,
my
for
mama
for
like that. Yeah.
300 and some odd page books, and not only read them but retain them.
Yes.
I'm amazed. She'll
Yes.
call me and go, Joe, I know we're writing this paper, Joe, and did you read? I'm like, Miss Barbara, I'm on page 35. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, I read all. Let me let
No,
me let me give you the
you
let me
know,
give you the cliff notes. And I was
you
like, come on, give them to me, Miss Barbara.
know, you know how I stay humble, Joe? When it comes to public speaking, I don't care how many schools and events I do. I got guys in my circle that can speak way better than me. When it comes to writing, I published 13 books, thank God. I got friends that can write me under the table. So people in my circle let me realize the hierarchy and tell them what to aspire to. You know what I'm saying? So it's
You know,
not right for me to tell my daughter, like, yeah, baby girl, you and every other girl in your class is the same. No, y'all not the same.
hold
You know
up,
what I mean?
hold up. Let,
It's not
let me
real.
make it. Let me let me let me make you laugh, Sean. So just like last year at Essence, how I brought you in,
Yes,
I
yes.
now have people bringing me in like that. It is so funny. I mean, okay, so I let the cat out the bag. I leave in February. So from February to June the 1st, there will be no podcast. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
training to
yeah,
do.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
but okay. So I get walked into a FBI lab, a literal FBI crime lab. And just like I walked you in, it was the same thing. Ho ho ho! Who authorized him to come in? we need paperwork. We need, so person there. So when they found, okay, he good. Come on in. Sometimes you got to be who you say you are on
Yes,
paper,
yes. Now,
because folk will check who you are.
what I said weeks ago, Joe, you got to be certified and verified by somebody who is qualified, right?
Mm,
Certified, verified. That's somebody who is qualified.
Give that one more again.
You gotta be, Joe. Because at
Certified.
certain times,
So,
yeah.
so you got to be certified because watch this. They have places that have records and documentation. And guess what? And once again, I'm not trying to mess with nobody. I'm trying to tell y'all the truth. There is not a housing company of data that keeps up with honorary degrees.
Wow. Say it again, Joe, please.
There is not a housing company
Oh my God.
that keeps up with honorary degrees. See, mind you, when I walked into this room, the guy was laughing because he came back and he said, okay, yeah, boom, boom, boom. He got this credential because there's a housing company that keeps up with these classes, degrees,
Yeah,
certifications.
yeah,
So the guy laughed and he said, "Oh, you old school. You went to Maryland on this date, and here's
yeah.
because there's transcripts and manuscripts and things. See, but when you are bestowed, some things that you are bestowed, there's not a housing company that gives record of that bestowing because that bestowing was just for a moment.
So, Joe, could a person with an honorary go and apply for a job, and the minimum requirement is a doctorate degree in so and so and so and so? Could the honorary person apply for said job and get the job?
So hold on. I'm going to answer that question
Okay,
because I just had to deal with that a week ago.
okay, here we go. Here we go.
Yes, they can apply for the job.
Okay, cool, 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 cool.
Yes, they probably can get the job.
Okay, there it is.
But the question is, just like the young man who applied for the job saying he was an electrical
Oh yeah,
engineer,
yeah,
when it came time to plug in the wires,
yeah.
do they know what wires to plug in? Because
Joe,
you applying for and you getting does not mean that you can perform. And guess what? Most folks don't give a damn about your degree or where you got your degree from or what you say your degree is in. All they want to do is, can you do the job when I need to get the job done? Because they are expecting you to get the job done. And if you can't get the job done, you probably will not stay at that job for a long time.
Joe, the old song say, "I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it?" Remember
Hold it.
that?
I got a good friend of mine. God bless his soul. He works for the NSA. He said, you can fool some of the people some of the time. If you're good, you can fool all the people all the time. But there will come a day that somebody will say something and you will not have the answer. And all it does is bring enough doubt for them to go, wait a minute, he's supposed to know that though. Is he who he say he is, or is she who she say she is? Now, don't get me wrong. People forget. I know people who got the degree and can't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
However, just understand this. I've seen it. We had a person come in, waltz in, because guess what? Human beings hire human beings. You're not being hired by an AI system. Now, that may change. That may change, Sean. But right now, human beings hire human beings, and human beings sometimes don't pay attention. I had a person, I asked a person, I said, how did y'all vet this person? We looked at their resume. It looked good. We interviewed them. I said, so y'all never one time called one of these references? No. Y'all never one time called one of these schools? No. Did y'all ever, and Sean had to go, but he's right back.
Yeah, accident.
Sean, I asked the question
Yes, sir.
in the process of hiring, how did y'all vet this person? Sometimes people people look at your resume, they look at you, and they don't follow through. They don't look at they don't call your references. They say you got the look. They don't check everything on your resume. They don't call the schools. And all they see is what they want to see because you have that look and they want you to be in the position. So they allow you to walk in there. And listen, ain't nothing wrong with having an honorary degree. Let me raise my hand.
We're not saying that.
Okay.
We're not saying
so
that.
I'm not bashing nobody's honorary degree.
We're not saying
At
that.
the end of the day, for those who are doing what I'm doing, I've already in a half a semester had to write 2 papers, 130 pages, 120 pages, and both got rejected. That means I had to rewrite them.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I don't care how you get it out the mud. When somebody in 2027, when I get hooded, I'm gonna look at some folks and go, man, you can talk about me all you want to. I give less than a damn. I know how many nights I stayed up almost falling asleep on a lecture. I know how many times I had to research and how many times I had 5 computers running going, damn, wait a minute, this contradicts that and that, and I know how many times my professor done told me, shut up and listen to what I'm telling you. I don't listen, I tell anybody, everybody can call themselves a soldier. Only those who pass basic and AIT get to enjoy the spoils of said title.
Yes. 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 Not joke.
You can call yourself what you want to call yourself. Only the folks who have proven themselves get to enjoy the spoils of said title.
We're at the 58 mark. I know that. I got a question for you, but it could be a whole topic for tomorrow. But I'm gonna try to pose it anyway. Give me your thoughts and opinions about the phrase gatekeepers, and do you think that gatekeepers are actually needed? And we use it in a negative connotation most times. We say the phrase, "Oh, they got all these gatekeepers." Do you think it's an actual needed thing, or do you not like gatekeepers?
Hold it. So the word itself doesn't bother me because guess what? Everybody, listen, in all earnestness, the only way most of us or any of us are going to get anywhere is with some help. I always open up the show with that. I'm never in here by myself. I always have a little help from my friend. Listen, you can't, man was not meant to go through this thing alone. That's biblical for those who believe it. If you read the Quran, it even says in the Quran, man, the soul is not supposed to be here by itself.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, we all need, now the word gatekeepers. We have folks who, and sadly, and we do only have 5 minutes, but I'll say it and we'll continue this conversation tomorrow. We have folks who, I call it jealousy. And here's what I say. They want you to go through what they went through or go through worse to get what they got. Them type folks, I don't have time for them type folks. Because if you're a real leader, you don't want anybody behind you to suffer how you suffered to get where. See, I don't want my children, my grandchildren. Now, these are family members, but I don't want anybody who aspires to do what I do to have to run into all these roadblocks. That's like with you. Prime example. And you know this. John, we're not related. We're friends. We met each other. We've been rocking for some years now. But every door I walk in, I don't say, hold it. Like when we went to Essence, when the guy was like, nah, I don't know if I can let him in. I didn't say, Sean was like, oh, that's okay. I said, Sean, move to the side. I'll handle this. See, that's what a real friend and a leader does. Not Sean, this. No. Step to the side, Sean. I'll handle this. If I get you, and then I looked Sean dead in the eye and I said, I believe I can get you in, but if I don't worry about it. But I looked that man in the eye and I ran down what I needed to run down in my vernacular and using my verbal judo and using what Sean brings to the table to say, look this man up. This man is who I say he is. See, and that's where it's a two-edged sword.
So again,
hold it. I'm going to say this, Sean, and we're going to do just a little tad bit overtime.
Okay.
I get upset with folk when they get mad at me because they trying to figure out how I got in the room. Okay, let's be real about a few things. I lie, you lie, everybody lie. Everybody at one time of their life has embellished or did something that was a little bit not 100% above board.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. Just like I told somebody yesterday. Trust me, I am as advertised. And I am who I say I am. And you find it out like yesterday. I'm at a veteran celebration. There's a German guy there. He's confused because he really don't understand the language. Then I had to calm him down because I speak his language. And one of the people beside me laughed and said, I always thought you were bullshitting about you speaking German. I said, well, regardless of what you thought. What of me? Did you understand one word I said to my man? No. Okay, guess what? Ask him what language were we speaking, and he'll tell you German. You know, too many times we try to discredit folks because of our own insecurities. Just like I told you, Sean, your elevation irritates folks to say, why choose Sean? Well, they didn't choose Sean. Sean chose himself. Sean put in the work. Hold it. I can't sit here right now. Sean has a million books that if I and I might read one book every 3 months. Ring the bell, Joe. I might read one book every 3 months.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
going to get into a conversation with Sean about books like I know more than Sean. Sean is reading books on a daily and a weekly basis.
Yeah.
I don't do that's not my forte. And sometimes some folk you can't be the HNIC of everything.
No,
Sometimes you gotta let Sean be the king of his hill. But we got folk out there, Sean. If I can't be the HN, and I hate folk like that. They always got to be smarter than you on everything.
I want to say something publicly too for those that they wouldn't know this. For Essence Festival, this is beautiful, Joe. I am the book guy, right? Amongst
Mhm.
this thing. You let me go to the book area and just do my thing. Like go over there, do your pictures, do your lives, like do your thing, like do your book thing. And I appreciated that. Like they give me the reins to do that. Like man, do your thing. Like we over here. You gotta do.
Because Sean, you done proved to me. You proved to me. I didn't ask for your degree. I didn't ask. I know I've seen Degree Out podcasts. And watch this. And let me raise my hand on this, family. Truly, this degree thing is once again a European thing that has been ingrained in our head of what you
Back,
need. If you
back.
go back, listen, I'm reading a book right now, how in ancient times there wasn't degrees, it was your level of knowledge.
Yes.
Guess what? You knew who he
Yeah,
was by the level of knowledge and the people he hung with. If
yeah.
you were a scholar and a scribe, you hung with scholars and scribes, and you sat at their feet
The feet of the
and
master.
listened.
The feet of the master.
Right? You sat at their feet
Feet of the master.
and you learned. And guess what? When the master, hold it, what they say? When the student is ready,
The teacher shall appear.
hold
I
it.
love that
And the
quote. Love
masters
that quote.
would have a
Love
group
that
of
quote.
folk, and then they would be noticing, oh, and then they touch you. Hey, come with me. Then okay, even though y'all all might sit together at the feet of the master and heard some lectures, he would touch or feel you and say, come with me
Certain ones.
to my study. And he
Certain
would
ones.
show them a little more that's deeper because he knew there would come a day he would no longer be the master. And then somebody had to take his place. That's our
Joe,
problem. We don't want folk. Come on, Sean, come with me. Come with
you just indirectly went to what I want to go to with the whole vetting. I mean, the gatekeeper conversation, right?
me.
Let's remove the word gatekeeping. I look at it more like the vetting process. Now, you,
Mm-hmm.
Joe, being a journalist man, you being a sport man, and two other monikers too, right? And all of
Mm-hmm.
those things, even the fraternal stuff and all of that. Anybody can't just do it. But back in the old days, anybody couldn't just do it.
Right,
To be a journalist, it took a long road to be a journalist, man. But now
right.
we can all just get a phone, get a little setup, get a little ring light, and we can all just, I'm reporting on the sports. I saw the game last night. Like, no. Back in the old days, there was a process to be a journalist. There was a process to be in the music game for sure. But now look at the gatekeeper being removed. Look at what music is now.
Well, Sean, you
Look
gotta
at
look
what
at
sports
AI.
is now.
Hold it. As much as we don't want to talk about it, that thing called AI is a monster. Listen. I've been dealing with AI for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
See, once again, I was podcasting before podcasting was popular. You know that, Sean.
Yeah.
Sean, I used to invite you into the studio, and me and Sean have known each other almost now 10 years. And when I
Yes.
first
Yes.
met you, Sean
Yes.
was like, what are you doing? Bro, I'm going live. Well,
Yes.
what you mean? Why are we doing this? Because,
Yeah.
bro, not only do the radio, but there are people who
Yeah.
are on these devices. I was doing this 10 years ago before everybody was out there influencing and all that. Now, look, I don't call myself a trailblazer. I call myself a person who understands the times. I was doing AI 5 or 6 years ago. That's why I laughingly tell folks, And I do it because it's really funny to me. I have an AI generated program that shows me how many people are clicked on. As you see in the corner, it says 4 folks are clicked on. I have a program that shows how many folks are clicked in, but not clicked on. So even though I see a 4 there, and most folks say, oh, ain't nobody watching Joe and Sean, I realize that there's 275 people, and it breaks it down. It breaks it down by country of where they at. So I know how many people, and out of these 200 and some odd people, all of them are in the United States of America, but it shows me exactly who's watching and who's clicked in.
I realized this last night. When I had him on the show backstage before we went live, he said, Sean, I watched all of your shows. I'm looking at him like, what? You watch my shows? But again, you only seeing certain numbers. You have no idea of the actual people, the actual reach and the breadth of it. You have no actual knowledge of that sometimes.
Hold on. And Sean, watch this. 4 minutes past the hour. We're going to try to stay for 10 more minutes. Watch, listen to what I'm about to say. And I pay for this program. So watch this. Sometimes to get the information you need to get, you have to invest. And we come from too many folks who want stuff for free.
Yes.
See, a lot of folks don't understand. In order for us to do this podcast, I have to invest in me because StreamYard every month sends me a bill.
Yes,
a bill that started off at $25 a month.
Yes,
it ain't $25 a month no more.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
And if I plan on doing this podcast, and as you see, you never see a Cash App, you never see me asking for anything. That means I have to pull my own bootstraps up and say, this bill I will pull myself every month because I am on here. And guess what? I don't care if I just reach 1. I met Willie Pickens yesterday for the first time face to face. He shook my hand and I saw in his eyes, he appreciates the conversation we do.
Wow.
Listen, if I just reach 1 and 1 says, you made me think, not you told me what to think, how to think, but you made me think.
Made me think, yeah.
I believe I've accomplished what God intended for me to do, to bring awareness to folks that, listen, don't listen to Joe, don't listen to Sean, find it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you smarter than that. I don't need a bunch of dummies around me. I don't need a bunch of folks bowing down to me. I really would love a bunch of kings and queens, because the more kings and queens in the room, the more wealth and prosperity and power is in the room to really move something. See, when I got a bunch of followers, we ain't moving nothing. All we doing is waiting for somebody to say something.
Yeah, the rising tide raise up all the boats, man. Raise up all the boats. Rising tide. Okay, man. I just want to ask that question about the gatekeeper thing, you know.
Hey, we're going to go into that tomorrow. Tomorrow on Turn Up Thursday, we're going to get into the gatekeepers, because some people are needed because they know.
The vet.
Right. However, understand this. We got to stop having folks who say the following: if I can't profit from this person don't need to get in the building.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Too many times we are strangling future leaders because we don't see how we can profit off that future leader. Look, man, I don't care if I see it's for the greater good of the community. I don't care if I get 1 penny, 1 dime, or 1 piece of shine off of you. All I want you to do is go out there and be great in their face, as Alethea was said. With that being said, Sean, it's about that time.
Yes, sir. Here we go,
get out of here. Let's go.
Yes, like I said last night, I had a grand episode of the Griot Podcast. Right now on YouTube, you can go there right now. Click on it, enjoy your morning breakfast, enjoy your morning coffee, get educated, get entertained. It was an enlightening, well-rounded conversation. KSA Layman, award-winning, one of the best writers of the Southern region, if not the nation. Check it out. I'll be here tomorrow. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Joe.
Hey, man. Sean, you my dude. Listen, family, I'm getting ready to get up out of here. It is Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow. And for Turn Up Thursday, I end the same way every time. Listen, be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today. Bless somebody somewhere. And no matter what you do, there's no earthly way they could ever pay you back. And always remember, regardless of what you call him, her, or them, however you That's you. There is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he willingly can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. Believe that. Be great in their face, as Alethea Cremens would say. And have a great day on purpose, as Alethea would say. We up out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.